Hi everyone, my name is Alex Brinkley. I am a composer and a sound designer. Mostly work in the world of media and films, but do a lot in the world of marching band as well. And I want to make a little video showing a quick tip in MainStage about how to program more realistic string sounds by splitting up articulations across your keyboard, along with doubling sampled sounds with synthesized sounds. And in the end, it should sound something kind of like this. So let's talk about how to do that. Okay, so here I have an empty MainStage project, and the first thing that we want to do is we want to create two new software instrument tracks. So plus button, software instruments, 2 channels, and we're going to make this first one, we're going to call this strings long, and then the second one is going to be sine long, and I'll tell you why that is in just a second. For the input on the first one, we want to go ahead and add a EXS24, one of the sampler instruments. And if we go into here, go to factory, orchestral, strings, I always found that the string, or the cellos sound pretty good, especially in the lower register. So we'll take that as our bass, and then we're going to double that with a new instrument. So we're going to go on that second channel strip that we made, go to where it says the ES2. The ES2 is a very simple synthesizer. And by default, it's going to load up a certain patch, but I'll show you how to kind of create a good, simple bass, or I guess a good, simple sine wave, which will help to reinforce that fundamental frequency of the cellos. So to do that, go to synth bass, and then where it says monster sine, and then if you listen to this, it'll sound like this. Pretty big, kind of not what we need. So we're going to turn off oscillators 1 and 3, leaving just the sine wave. We'll turn down the sense to 0, get rid of any distortion, get rid of the filter that we have on there. And if we apply a frequency analyzer, should see, okay, we've still got that first octave in there. Why is that happening? Because we got that sine still in there, that lower octave. So we'll turn down the sine as well, and then boom, there we go. We just have a simple sine wave. So now what we want to do is we want to match the ADSR, or the attack, decay, sustain, and release of this sine wave. Those 4 components, by the way, make up what we call an envelope. Every sound in the world has an envelope. A car crash, a clarinet, me speaking, they all have envelopes in them. So we want to make this envelope match that of the strings. We do that just by listening. So I'll bring up the attack time. There we go. We'll also increase the release time a little bit. Maybe not that far. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like it matches. Great. So now we have the sine wave, basic sine, doubled with the cello. So that's going to help kind of beef up that sound. If we wanted to, we could take this and transpose it down the octave for a really beefy sound, or we could also then just play 2 octaves there. So a couple different options, but we'll just leave that at 0, and we're going to take these things. Now what we want to do is we want to set what we call the highest layer, or the highest note possible of this layer. So to do that, just go into your music, look at what the highest note that you're trying to play is, and for the low stuff, because this is going to be in the lower part of the keyboard, we'll set the high key. In this case, we'll just say it's an A. Select the next layer, select the high key, and say A. And now you've got a split keyboard. So here at B flat, there's not going to be any sound, but if I go down 1, it's going to trigger that, play the A. So that sounds good. Now what we want to do is we want to take these 2 channel strips that we made, Command-C, copy, Command-V to paste that, and we want to take these things, or take these layers, bring them up to the right, and we're going to now make these our staccato patches. So we're going to extend this length of the keyboard, and then where it says strings long, it says channel strip, so we're going to call this now strings stock for staccato, and sine stock. Great. So for the staccato patch, we want to go into the EXS instrument, go to where it says factory, orchestral, strings, and we want to change these to the staccato patches. And then for the sine wave, because now we want those two things to match. Let's open up the new sine wave that we made. I'm going to bring down the attack time. It's a lot quicker. We don't want any sustain because we want it to decay and then disappear just with the same kind of envelope that the staccato strings have. So we want a little bit longer. Sounds pretty good. But now you might be saying, well, they're in the wrong octave, right? I go, I want those to be down the octave. So to do that, under the MIDI effects of these of the staccato channel strips, we'll make a transposer. And this is going to just take the MIDI information coming out of the keyboard and change it. So here I'm playing a C or a B flat. I could really make it play any instrument. All that the computer sees here is just a little bit of information that says B flat, but we could take this and more or less translate it to whatever note that we want. In this case, we're going to bring it down to 24 semitones, so a total of 2 octaves. And then if I take that transposer and press Command, click, and then drag it over to the second channel strip, both of them are now going to be transposed down 2 octaves. So I can play it and show you what it sounds like. Sounds pretty close, most of the way there. One thing that we can do to make it just sound a bit more cohesive, like it's all in the same space, is by adding a little bit of reverb to every track. So to do that, we'll create a new send. I already made one here through bus 5, but in case you don't know how to do this, when you select a send and go to bus, whatever bus you choose, it's going to create a new auxiliary channel strip. And then here at the very end, you'll go to where it says audio effects, and then to reverb, space designer, boom. Now we got some reverb in there after we turn up the bus send. It's very easy to overdo reverb, so you really only need just a little bit and it'll make a world of difference. That's a little quick tip looking at how to program more realistic sounding strings in MainStage. If you have any questions about this, hit me up on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Pageantry Sound. You can send me a message on there or a comment, or also you can shoot me an email. My email is contact@pageantrysound.com. I'll be more than happy to answer more of your specific MainStage questions. Thanks for watching.